of Islam that Allah's great Habib did his best in his few years that he was in this earth to make this earth the paradise for the believers to gain access to the heaven above. Salawat Muhammad. And when we were having our discussion yesterday, we said to defend something in a country, you need, number one, the country needs a constitution. The country needs a constitution. The country needs a force to defend its borders from external threats, and a police force to defend the country from within. This is how all nations work. You are in this country, the moment you want to make an exit or entry into this country, whether it is an airport or a ship channel or anywhere, because you live on the coast here in Edinburgh, there is a check. There is a force which says, I will not allow unwanted people to enter from outside, and I will ensure those who are within the borders, they live their life according to the constitution and the law of this country. And in very simple language, because they are, mashallah, youngsters, not so youngsters. In fact, in my eyes, all of you are the young ones. Because the Mujahid of Islam is never old. The Mujahid of Islam never turns old. The defender of Islam never turns old. Even Habib ibn Mazahir never called himself old. And even Hazrat Syed al-Shuhada Imam Hussain al-Islam, when he wanted to have a friend to come and help him, he said, I will call my young friend Habib. Salawat Muhammad. So each of you who sits here, whether you have painted your beard white like me or not, you are still young Mujahid of Islam. And therefore, Allah promises those who will enter heaven will enter, they will heaven as young person, not as an old man. Salawat Muhammad. From the time of Adam alayhi salam to the Khatam, Allah says, I have been sending to the people the constitution to live their life accordingly. And each time I said they have abused the prophets, they have tried to bully their way, they have tried to kill, assassinate, and all the mazalim that could be possible on this earth, they have suffered from Adam to Khatam, all the Nabi. And then Allah said, enough is enough. I am sending my last one. I am sending the final messenger. I am sending the final messenger with the final constitution to live their lives with. And the constitution will be in two forms. Because the constitution, people can change wordings in the parliament as they like, as they would. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his Mashiach said, the constitution will be in such a way that one will be Quran and Native and Quran and Sami. If one is quiet and people want to change it, the other will speak out, I am the real Quran. And therefore, when Mawlaya Kainat said, when I put my foot in one rakab, in the sandal, by the time I put my foot in the other one, I have recited the whole of Quran because I am Quran. Salawat Muhammad. With this belief of the Ahl al-Bayt in the Sharia and the faith and belief in Asul-e-Deen and Furu-e-Deen, the laws of entity And the methodology of following are the two pillars of Islam, Usul-e-Din and Furu-e-Din. And that has guided us. Remember, right from the childhood till the time of entrance to the grave, these are the two things that will guide us. When you are born and when you are about to walk, the first thing your mother says, Beta, Beti, say Allah ek. Allah is one. The wahdaniyat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the first thing a mother or a father, the parents teach their children. And the moment you learn to say Allah ek, how wonderful. They will call their neighbors, they will call their relatives, they will call their loved one. Come on, tell them what you have learned today. And the little child says in his little accent, Allah ek. And the whole crowd wakes up, MashaAllah. They will shower him with sweets, with gifts, and tell congratulations to their parents. MashaAllah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make him grow with this faith. Remember, when you were little ones, this is how you went through the life itself. And remember, at the time of death, when the Farishte will come, they will ask you the same question. The same question, the answer to which your mother taught you when you were a toddler. Who is your Allah? They will ask about your Tawheed. They will ask about your Prophet. They will ask about these pillars of Islam that your mother and father taught you as a child. And therefore, we must understand that this teaching has been done with some purpose. There is a purpose. Islam is a religion which has a purpose, and with that purpose, a destination and a goal. If you have a purpose, then you must have a goal. If you have a goal, then you must have a destination. Islam is such a beautiful religion, very simple religion to follow. But we ourselves have made it difficult. Islam is not a difficult religion. Islam is based on fitrat, which is nature. This is one religion. Allah said there are many religions. In the Islam, I have chosen it because it has been made on human nature. I did the khalq, the nation of human nature, and put this Islam in its stool there. Therefore, it is whatever we do in Islam, it should come spontaneously, should come naturally. And therefore, yesterday we said, because the time is limited, that now your duty here is not just to come condemn the ones who are already condemned. We must do the tadarra and tawalla, which is part of our religion. But they are already come. Let us come and defend the religion which has been given to us by our parents, from their parents, by our great Prophet himself. Salawat The question is, how are we going to defend this religion? Remember, I just said, in this country you have security forces. What do you call? Border security, right? Islam has got border security. But Islam needs people to manage that border security, to put people in the right places to control the borders of Islam, so that it is not attacked externally. To do that, Islam says, let us create a border security force of people who are fit to be security officers. If the security officers are corrupt, how can they secure the border? So, to have a security force, you must have a force of security. The security force is the one who is secured in himself from within and from without. If he is secured from within and without, then he is uncorruptible. If he is not secure from within and without, he is corruptible. He will be corruptible. Like from, I don't want to condemn our own country of origin, but we know what corruption has done to the country which was created again in the name of Islam. Right? And therefore, how can we become mujahid, defenders of Islam? Then we have to make sure we are not corrupt within and not corrupt without. The outside influence doesn't affect us, and we internally are strong enough to feather the storm. Remember, you live on the sea, by the seaside. Today, I was telling Qibla Maulana, the sea is so quiet and so calm. He says, wait till the stormy days come, you can see the waves come. So the mujahid of Islam must be there to be safe and sound when the waters are calm, but be able to weather the storm and battle with the will to face the challenge. And therefore we have to make and secure ourselves internally. We say we must have in Pakistan ulama and all this. Forget it. First of all, Islam says, and you read all the books, Islam said, forget all those things happening in the parliament and in the constitutions and the civic bodies. First, secure the home, the house you live in. Must secure your place, the four walls within which you live as a father, as a mother, as a son, as a daughter, as a brother, as a sister, as grandparent. Secure the house first. If the house is not secure, when you go out half the time you will be worried, how is my wife, how is my children, how are they secure? How can you fight in the front when you are worried all the time what is happening within the house? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and our Aimma said, first secure your home. In these few days that will go by that very quickly, especially I want to address to my young friends here. They live on the stormy waters of the seas here, right? But there are stormy waters in their schools, in their town halls, in their marketplace, amongst the friends and people that move. Don't be afraid. The people in this country are good people. Remember, whether a person is born amongst the non-believers or believers, Allah created him. Allah gave him life. Allah will take his life as he will take ours. Don't condemn anyone. We have no right to condemn a Christian or a Jew or a believer or a non-believer. Nobody knows who and when will do something, say something, worship the Allah He wants. He may enter the gates of heaven and we may be without outside. Nobody. So never ever condemn anyone for what you see externally, because there are people whom you will know yourself were the worst of the smugglers and the rogues and the drinkers and everything. And all of a sudden, snap, something happens and they change their life. And who knows? There, one sajda. If you have done 2 rakat namaz in the whole of your life, 2 rakat namaz, it is written in books. And Allah says, he worshipped that 2 rakat to me with such belief, I forgive all the sins he has committed, all the gunah kabira and saghira. Oh Farishte, put his name down to be amongst those who will enter the kingdom of heaven. So they, no matter who they are, the Jews, the Christians, the Sikh, the Hindu, don't ever say they are condemned. They are nobody condemned. Allah has never created anything bad. All the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mashallah great. we say that the dog is najis, right? Our people, when they see, our children and adults run away when they see someone walking down the street with their dogs, right? No, that dog is Allah's creation. Every creation of Allah is subhanallah great. Nothing can be compared to the creation Allah has made himself. That very dog which is condemned, of all the great many animals and birds and those who fly and walk on this earth, right? Only few have been mentioned in Quran, in the ayat of Allah, of this great holy book, and dog is one of the books in which we read that book. If we say, oh Allah, the dog is najis, I'm not going to read anything of the dogs of Ashab al-Kahf. No, you can't. You have to read it. But Allah, it is najis. Why have you put him in Quran? It's Allah who will say, everything I have created with some purpose. Everything I have created with the beauty and magnificence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, of all the great many things that I have created, there are only few handful of things I said this is makruh, this is, if you do this is guna, this is makruh, this is najis, right? But our mind is that few things that Allah said you must avoid, you must not do, you must not come near. We are always thinking, I wish, why is sharab haram? Why is this meat has to be slaughtered this way? Allah said, I've given you so many things. There are few things I have kept just to examine you, whether I will tell you, don't go near it, whether your temptation takes you there or not. Before you, I even told Adam, don't go near the particular tree, just to show you that even my beloved prophets, I don't leave them like that. Just like you, I put them in very difficult spots to see whether they too fulfill their role and duties and avoid those what I have told them not to do. If the prophet, and you look the life of all the prophets, read what examinations they went through, what great tragedies they had to suffer, what pains and sufferings they went through, right? And therefore Allah said, I examined them. Don't say, oh, they were masumeen, they had easy time. No, I put them in greater pain than you ever will suffer. Sallallahu Muhammad. So, secure your homes, because the danger is from within the home. You see, yesterday I said, when here you used to hear in the battles of Badr, Uhud, our great prophet knew where the enemies were coming, right? Then you can go and fight the enemies. You can go and fight the regiment. You can go and fight the battalion, and 1 to 1 or the two vigorous armies fighting each other. But it's very difficult, because the enemies, as I said to you, has already not entered the country, not gone through the body security, not gone to the town. It has entered your own houses. And in the houses, often I go, I see the father has one remote control, the children has another remote control, others have got remote control, and they are switching from channel to channel. Sometimes there are scenes to be watched, sometimes there are no scenes to be watched, right? But Allah said, I have given you your mind and your heart and your soul to control your thoughts and minds. And therefore, the thoughts of minds and of our children is our duty. The word, especially to my young friends, now don't you think you are young, because I have only painted it white. I am as young as you are, just a little few years here given, right?
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
My my brothers, mere bachcho, this is what you have to protect. This is what you have to protect. And it will take all your energy. It will take all your convictions to protect this. In this city of Edinburgh, you will find when the Christmas time comes, it is coming, you will find great things happening to distract you, to take you away from here to there. This is a danger. The attack from all over the world is, no other religion is being attacked. No other religion is being, in danger. It is Islam being attacked. It is the Quran being burnt. It is the attack on the mosques, and the mosques are being bulldozed. The Quran being burnt. This is what you have to protect. It is easy, but it is not so easy. First, you have to create the mahal, the atmosphere. You go to any meeting, you go to school, the teacher, the headmaster says, let us create a mahal, an atmosphere in my school that is good for the children's learning and education. This is what headmaster or headmistress said. This is what we say. The mahal is created here. The atmosphere is created here, on this first area. On this first area. From here, it takes home. What pains me most, in this most modern day and age, where the father's first name is Henry, and the son is called Henry, and perhaps the grandchild will be called Henry, they call each other by their first name. And they say how, you see, we are open, right? And I have seen in our own home, when the children tell their parents, you don't know nothing, Dad. You don't know nothing, Dad. Because this is the age which is advancing so fast with the computers, technology, that people like us become obsolete in no time. Right? You have to create a mahal where Islam doesn't allow anybody to grow old. The older in age we grow, Islam says, our mazhab says, our deen says, give him more respect. Here it is opposite. The moment you are not so young, you have been made to retire. The moment you are retired, you are not good, you are fit for the nursing home or care home, out you go. Islam doesn't believe in that. Islam says, no, they have looked after you, you take care. लोग पूछते हैं कि इस दौर में अब वालिदैन की क्या कीमत है? What is the value of being a parent? Parents, these days I feel and I listen to them and I see and hear them. Parents talk, we are afraid of our children. Parents, and I'm sitting here and telling you, parents say, we are afraid to talk to our children. We don't know what answer we will get. We don't know how will be said. They will say, shut up, don't tell us what to do. If a grandchild is born, don't tell us how to feed the little baby, what to feed the little baby. I know better. Your days are gone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, no, their days are not gone. Ayatullah Marashi, Qibla knows. I haven't got time. I will give you a very simple example. Ayatullah Marashi was the greatest scholar. Somebody asked him, I always like telling a story. Somebody asked him, how did you receive this great status of a marja? Most respected and most learned scholars. Who does not only teach students, he teaches the scholars. In his audience, Ayatollah would sit and listen to his lectures. Do you know, one day somebody asked him, what is the secret of you receiving this high status of a marja, of a great author, orator? speaker in Islam? He says, yes, I will tell you the story. And my young brother, this is the story, his story, but in my words. He said, when I had become a marja, a scholar, ayatullah, my father was still alive. My father was still alive. His father was not a religious scholar. He had a little shop in the town. Just an ordinary man, right? He used to still work, close the shop in the afternoon, come home for an afternoon siesta, sleep, work, sleep for a couple of hours, go back to the shop. He's an ayatullah. He has come home for an afternoon lunch, for his afternoon lunch. His mother has a dastarkhan, you know, the ones you put here. He says the food, she said the food is ready. He says, go and wake your father up. He's asleep. Ask him, the food is, the ta'am, the lunch is ready. Salawat Muhammad ya. The food is ready. He goes to wake his father up. He sees his father lying on the floor fast asleep. And this marja, this ayatullah, is in pain. How do I wake up my father up? Do I shout, Dad, come on now, get up, Dad, it's time for lunch? What do I do? The respect of a father is such. I'm talking about how do we create mahal, the atmosphere in our house.
MashaAllah.
What sort of mahal, what sort of atmosphere in this modern day and age can we have in our house? He goes and he sees a father asleep and he says, oh Allah, how do I wake up? Ayatullah Maraji is telling this to his audience, in which there are many Ayatullahs sitting and listening. He said, then I thought, I went to where my father's feet were. I picked up one of his foot. I took his foot and put it against my own cheek. Because the cheek, as you will realize, gets hot quicker, it's high flow of blood, so it gets warm very quickly. He says, when my father's foot felt the heat of my cheek, he woke up. And he said, oh my son, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you with the ilm of Ali ibn Talib alayhi salam, a drop of the ilm from the ocean of Ali ibn Talib alayhi salam, and may you reach the great heights of knowledge. That is the atmosphere. Ayatullah Maraji says, that is the moment my father's foot touched my cheek and he gave me the dua. That is why I am what I am today. Salawat Muhammad. You see, we have got to create an atmosphere. It is being polluted. You see, you talk about green, there's a green movement going on all over the world. Make your house green, that the garden of your own home smells with the fragrance of the love of Allah. That is the atmosphere. That is the greenery you want in your house. I told you from a modern story, and Qibla knows about Ayatullah I'm talking about. Let me take you to the Quran, because if you will keep it a secret, right? I'm not a very educated man. MashaAllah, you have got ulama here coming to this place, right? But I can only speak from the hadith, the story, and from the Quran, and not beyond that. Beyond that, I haven't got to. Let me tell you from Quran. In Quran, you will read that Hazrat Musa al-Islam's time, a person came early in the morning, a group of people came, that a person has been murdered last night. And his body was thrown into another Qabila, the enemy clan's place, and his body is there, and two brothers came and said, "Oh Musa, you claim to be the prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There, we demand justice from you. That clan, somebody has murdered our cousin. Our cousin here is dead. We want the culprit to be punished." Musa al-Islam has came with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the takhti of Islam to give you the rules and regulations, not to solve murder problems. He says, okay, go and ask your God. So Musa, Kalimullah, has a quick message with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ask the people of Bani Israel to slaughter a cow and take the flesh of the cow and throw it on the body of the dead person. The dead person will awaken, and when he awakes, he will tell you, "Oh Musa, who the murderer is." So the people of Bani Israel said, "So don't pull that fast one on us, please. Right? We are Bani Israel, we are the chosen people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't pull that fast one on me, please." Right? Musa says, this is the word of Allah. Allah says, catch a cow, get hold of a cow, slaughter it, take the flesh. Musa, you take the flesh in your hand, throw it on the body of the dead man. The dead man will wake up and he will tell you who the criminal is, the murderer is. All right, but you see, those who are the people of the Bani Israel today are no different from the Bani Israel of those days. Same mind, mischievous mind. Okay, we will catch the Salat Muhammad Yalim. We will catch them. We will catch the guy. Then they say, okay, Musa, go back to your God. Allah, I ask him, what sort of a cow should it be? Should it be old one or a young one? I will make it as short as I can. He says, it doesn't matter any cow. No. Ask him, what color shall it be? Next day, Musa goes to Allah. You made me prophet. You gave me the most mischievous group of people to be the prophet of. Now they want to know what color. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, tell them, it shouldn't be neither white or this color. They say, okay. Then come back again. Okay. Go back to your God and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what sort of horn should it be? Should it be this, that? About 5, 6 different questions they asked, and Musa had to go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and answer. They made by their questions such that it became impossible to find the cow of this description of this family gene, this type of horn, this type of color. They looked around, they couldn't find any. They couldn't find any. Then they searched and searched and searched. Then far away near a forest, they found a cow of that description. Now, this story in Quran has been written with this, but I am taking it from the other angle. That cow belonged to a young man, a young lad, whose parents, whose father, must have had many children. He must have given something, a house or a bungalow or seaside resident, whatever, right? But to this young lad, the father gave him a cow. What is a cow? Not of great value, but the son was happy with what their parents gave. Today, in the modern days and age, the children are more worried what comes from the father's will, right? How much of land and how much house, which brother gets what, we are worried. But the land, that lad was not worried. He gave cows and no problem. He served his mother and his father so much. And he said to his father, whatever you give me, father, alhamdulillah. I don't even deserve it, but it's alhamdulillah, it's a great gift. No complaint, right? Today, the children make more complaints because when they meet the parents are worried, what long list of complaints my child has, right? You haven't given me this, you educated me, you did, oh God. So, he says, when you have tawakkul, when you have qana'at, when you have got a sense of sublime, divine belief that whatever comes from Allah, one drop of His anayat is more than sufficient what you need. And Allah, those who believe for the love of their parents and the service of their parents, Allah rewards them. So these people came to this young man's house. We want to buy your cow. Before this young man wanted to buy, somebody else had come to buy, have a transaction with the young man. The man says, yes, I will give you the money, but my father is asleep. Again, he must be having an afternoon siesta, and the keys to the sanduqcha, the key to the where the money is in the box, the key is underneath my father's pillow, and my father is asleep. No matter what happens, I will not wake him up. So he did not disturb his father, but he did let go every transaction that was waiting him. That was the son. So he comes back. He says, doesn't matter, that is tawakkul. I can't disturb my father. For me, my father's sleep is more important than the money I will make from the sale. So when the people of Bani Israel come to buy the cow, the mother is clever enough. Mother says, tell them 1,000 dinar. I'm just making up the money. He said, no, the cow is not worth that. He says, yes, my mother says to charge you 1,000 dinar, I will charge you 1,000. Full stop, no negotiation. They said, okay, we will go back to our people, Qabila, and come back tomorrow. So 2-3 days later, they come back. They said, okay, we have agreed that we will pay you 1,000. So he goes to his mother, mother, they are asking 1,000 dinar. So mother says to his son, yes, tell them, my son, that 1,000 dinar was the price of the cow on 2 days before. Now the price is double, it is 2,000 dinar today. I said, hey, how can you do that? He says, my mother told me, if you had bought it on that day, it was 1,000 dinar. Today it is 2,000 dinar. He said, you cheat. Okay, we will go and consult. I'm not giving you 2,000. So they go back and they consult again. Then they come back and they say, okay, we will agree to give you 2,000 dinar. Then he said, goes back to his mother. Mother, they have agreed to 2,000 dinar. Mother says, no. Go and tell them, 2,000 dinar was old price 2 days ago. Now the price is 4,000 dinar. This is from Quran, right? ये बात सही नहीं है। सलात भेजे You see, I'm being happy that the watch is working with me and there's a stationary, mashallah. So, you see, mu'jizas do happen. Yeah? Miracles do happen, mu'jizas do happen, but never mind. But Maulana has caught the time right. Anyway, Salawat Muhammad. So, mother says, no, it is not 4,000, it is 8,000 dinar. He says, okay, I will go back and he's concerned, I'm not giving you 8,000 dinar. The cow is not worth 8,000 dinar. So he goes back again. Comes back again. Next day he says, yes, the community is agreed to give you 8,000 dinar. He goes to his mother. And guess what mother says? Tell them that was the price for the old time. Today it is 16,000 dinar. Right? 16,000. He said, you can't do that. He says, yes. Very briefly, because I have got the red signal already. So, red flag, Maulana has given me the signal. So I have to finish quickly. So, in the Quran and the Tafsir, it is written that they agreed at the end to pay the money when you slaughter the cow, the skin that comes off, that khal, right? Whatever fits in the khal, you have to give that much of money to fill it for the price of the cow, which was initially 1,000 dinar. And in the tafsir it is written, the mu'jiza was this. You see the mu'jiza with time and mu'jiza with the khal. The mu'jiza was this, the more they would fulfill, the more it would keep expanding. Salawat Muhammad. Those who follow the wishes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah rewards them on this earth and Allah rewards them in heaven. Make the mahal, the atmosphere in your house, that it is such. Because the love of father and son is that great. One little fact and I shall close it today. You have heard of Yusuf and you have heard of Yaqub, right? It is Muharram time, right? People object, why do the Shias go and kiss the alam? Why do they go for the tabut? Why do they have Zuljana? Right? And these questions, some of the younger friends will be asked in the colleges, in the universities, in the playgrounds, in the schools. Let me tell you, you will read. Again, my knowledge is not much. I will tell you from the Quran. It is written that Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam gave his brothers his shirt to take it to his father. I'm talking about the atmosphere of a house. What should be a relationship between a father and a son? And if it is the right atmosphere, what the reward is from heaven, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Hazrat Yusuf sends his shirt to his father. The sons are far away, and Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salam says, I can feel the fragrance of Yusuf. I can feel the fragrance, the sweet smell of Yusuf, my son. Yusuf is a prophet, and Hazrat Yaqub is a prophet. He can feel the smell of Hazrat Yusuf, but when Hazrat Yusuf's shirt is given to him, Hazrat Yaqub puts the shirt against his eyes, and mashallah, the mu'jiza of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala happens, that his eyesight is restored. Salawat Muhammad alayhi. Hazrat Yaqub, being a prophet, felt the smell of fragrance of Hazrat Yusuf. His eyes was still blind. He had no roshni. He had no light. But the moment he touched the clothes of Hazrat Yusuf, the miracle happened. Tell them, if Yaqub can get his eyesight back by rubbing the shirt of his son, then we too can have all the mu'jizat, all the wishes, all the dua restored by touching the alam of Abul Fazl Abbas. This one answer is sufficient to tell those who oppose our Azadari why we have alam, why we have tabut, why we have jalus, why do we have Zuljana. if they can give us an answer against the miracle of Yusuf and Yaqub, then tomorrow I will not touch the alam, I will not touch the zari, I will not touch the zuljana, I will not go for ziyarat. Salawat Muhammad. That is, one answer is sufficient why we do as a Dai. One, I don't have to give you 10,000. With a few little words, I will say, defend Islam the way the Lal of Zahra defended Islam. Today is the first day of Muharram, or the night. We were talking yesterday about leaving home. You see, when you and I have to leave home, or when our sons have to go to college or somewhere else, when we are leaving people behind, there is istaraf, there is our heart rate, everything increases. We feel as if we don't want to go. Hazrat Abdullah went to his grandfather's grave. Oh Nana, he fell on the grave. Nana, the very streets of Medina, Nana, where I used to play, where you used to play with me and other children, Nana, those streets have become strange for me. Nana, the very Sahabi who used to salute you and used to come and give me kisses, Nana, the very Sahabis that turned away from me. Nana, my own watan, my own town, my own shahar, Medina is a strange place for me. Nana, today I miss you because, Nana, I'm leaving Medina. Nana, I will never come back to you again, Nana. Nana, for once, Nana, take me onto your chest the way you used to take me when I was a little child. And the Imam Hussain said this too, Nana, Al-Wada, take my last salam from your grave. It is said the sound came from the grave of our great prophet. Oh Hussain, go to the land of Karbala because it waits for you. But oh Hussain, every step that you walk towards Karbala, your grandfather, your Nana will be with you, Hussain. With those few words, Abdullah Imam Hussain went to the grave of his mother Fatima Zahra and said, oh Amma, Salaam alaikum, Al-Wada, Al-Wada, oh my mother Granny, I am going for the last time, accept my salutation, oh mother. Mother, I know, I used to see you taking grinding the corn and the chutney. Oh mother, I miss my brother Hussain. Oh my mother, my father Ali is here no more. Oh mother, I'll find myself and my sisters alone. I'm going, mother. Mother, for once, as a mother, take me in your lap, take me in your arm. And the sound came, oh my son Hussain, go, the faith of your father Islam, it beckons you to the fields of Karbala. Oh Hussain, your mother will be there all the time. And with these few words, the Qafla left Medina. And when it left Medina, Zainab and Kulthum looked towards the great graves of their mother and father. Oh Jadda, salam alaikum. And Wali al-Asir, let us go. And the Muhammad, the Shabir Payyambar, went ahead. And Abul Fadil Abbas went with the Qafla. The Qafla went, but the Qafla was never to return to Medina again. The Medina